Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zachary Herman. I am the director of the new University of Pennsylvania Graduate School of Education Project-Based Learning Certificate Program. Thank you for attending tonight's informational webinar. Hopefully, you'll learn a little bit more about our program and get excited about the possibility of joining us next year. Ultimately, the impetus for this program is the realization that this work is very difficult. Creating rich and meaningful learning experiences for students requires us to create rich and meaningful learning experiences for teachers. The more ambitious our goals become for our students, the more the demands are placed onto our teachers. So we want to be thoughtful about how we develop teachers and the types of things they need to learn and know and be able to do to be successful in a project-based learning setting. I'm going to talk a little bit about the program, talk a little bit about the teacher experience for our participants. There is a chat box to the right of the screen, so if you have any questions, please type them in there. You can also find our website in the information for this video, and you can follow up with us through the contact information there. So I'm going to share a little bit about some of the elements of our program. So the goals of the program are twofold. First, ultimately what we're trying to do is develop the core teaching practices of project-based learning. I'll talk a little bit more about what we mean by that. But beyond the impact of the individual teachers who participate in our program, we want them to have impact beyond their own classroom. So we also want to build the capacity for these teachers to serve as instructional leaders. When we talk about core teaching practices, we're talking about what are the things that teachers do in the classroom to make learning work. Based on our research, we found that even with really carefully designed, thoughtfully created projects, some classrooms fall short of realizing the goals that teachers have set for their students. And this is largely based on what the teacher is doing, how they enact the project. Our research suggests that there are four main goals of project-based learning teachers, things that the teachers are trying to pursue through their work in their classroom. The first is subject area learning. Teachers want their students to grapple with the core questions, content, dilemmas of their discipline. Project authenticity, where teachers want to create real, authentic experiences for their students, where students see the meaning and purpose and rationale for their work outside of the classroom, within their community or within different disciplines. Teachers want their students to engage in processes and cycles of feedback, reflection, and revision, where they get better at learning and become continuous learners. And also teachers want to support their students as they develop agency and autonomy, but also collaboration and the ability to work well with others. There are a whole set of things that teachers do to make these things happen. Core practices are all about the moves, the decisions, the actual actions teachers take within the classroom to pursue those goals. These things don't happen by accident. There's no special sauce or there's no magic that happens. Teachers are acting with intention and with great skill to make learning environments that pursue these goals. And the goal of our program is to help develop these practices within teachers. The format of the program contains three major parts. The first is a week-long summer institute here at the University of Pennsylvania. The second is a full year of virtual video-based instructional coaching. And then the third part is returning here to campus for a final summer institute. I'll talk a little bit more about the participant experience in just a moment. In terms of the admissions process, our application is now live and available on our website, which is linked in the information section of this YouTube video. The preferred deadline is April 15th, so we encourage you to look at that application soon so you can complete it and we can review it. And then admissions decisions will be shared by the end of April. So I want to talk a little bit more about the teacher experience in our program. As I said, if we expect our students to experience rich and meaningful learning experiences, we need to give our teachers the same type of learning experience. So participants in our program, the first experience they have will be our week-long summer institute here on campus at the University of Pennsylvania. In the morning, teachers will work interdisciplinary across subject areas and dig into core ideas like authenticity, authentic intellectual inquiry, feedback, reflection, and revision, agency within a learning community. Getting deep about what do we mean by these ideas, topics that we often talk about as teachers but haven't necessarily gotten real sharp on. So what does this really mean for me as a learner, as a teacher, as an educator? In the afternoon, teachers will be cohorted into subject area groups. Well, they'll work with one of our expert instructional coaches with deep expertise in the content area. Well, they'll be able to apply the concepts from the morning to think about what does this mean for my specific teaching practice in my context with my students in my school. At the end of this, what is sure to be a rigorous, exciting, intense week of learning and networking at the University of Pennsylvania, our participants will go off into back to their communities all across the country and start school hopefully refreshed, excited with what they've learned. But the learning doesn't end there. We believe that effective professional development needs to be ongoing, sustained, job embedded. So the second portion of our program is a year's worth of virtual video-based instructional coaching. So what this looks like is teachers will film themselves in their classroom at a variety of different settings. So they might film themselves giving a just-in-time mini lesson when their class is ready to learn a new concept or ask a new or dig into a new dilemma or essential question of the content. They might record themselves approaching a group and having a group conferral and how they respond and react to questions from students or how they help support the effective cooperation among the team. They might record themselves helping facilitate a feedback, reflection, and revision session with students where students are giving each other feedback on the progress of their project. They'll take these videos and upload them to our online platform where our coaches can facilitate within a group of teachers conversations about what we're seeing, analyze the practice, figure out what's working, and figure out different things that the teachers might want to practice on. This learning happens in cycles, so teachers will have an opportunity to engage in ongoing reflection about their practice, try new things, experiment, all within the context of a professional learning community that expands across the country because our participants are coming from all over the country. At the end of the academic year, the teachers will return to the University of Pennsylvania one last time for a final summer institute. This summer institute will give teachers the opportunity to reflect on what they've learned, synthesize their knowledge and their new understandings, and then also focus on what does this mean in terms of my role as an instructional leader? How can I take what I've learned and apply it to support other teachers in my school, in my district, in my community? Throughout this experience, our teachers will earn 3 continuing education units on a University of Pennsylvania official transcript and a certificate. We see this as advanced professional development because it's a sustained, intensive experience over the course of a year that really digs into practice with the focus of deepening practice in these student-centered approaches towards teaching and learning. We hope that you are excited about it. We certainly are. We're drawing on some expert practitioners and researchers from all across the country. We've assembled a design team of people with deep expertise in professional development, coaching, project-based learning, inquiry, student-centered approaches to teaching and learning to design, develop, facilitate this program. And so we think it's truly a new and innovative way to think about advanced professional development for teachers serious about deepening their practice. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We will have a few more webinars prior to the application deadline. There's more information on our website, and there's also a link to sign up to receive additional information on a periodic basis. So feel free to reach out, and we hope to see some of you this August in the University of Pennsylvania. Thank you very much.